Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's get straight to it. You want to master English, and maybe you feel like you're just running in place. You've tried apps, videos, maybe even classes.
Yeah, that sounds familiar for a lot of learners. It's a really common frustration.
And there's this idea, isn't there, that you need a classroom or you have to go live overseas to get fluent.
Exactly. It's sort of ingrained.
Yeah.
But that's the myth we really want to tackle head on today.
Right. Forget needing that traditional setup.
Yeah.
Our goal in this deep dive is simple. Give you real, actionable strategies, ways to turn your own home into, well, the best English learning space possible.
And you don't need the plane tickets or the expensive tutors or those, dusty old textbooks.
Definitely not. The big question is, can you really get fluent this way?
And the answer we're exploring today is, well, yes. A strong yes, actually.
Okay.
The key things are consistency, curiosity, and really importantly, the right mindset.
That makes sense. So whether you've got a notebook ready or you're multitasking, let's dive in. We're going to explore how to unlock your English fluency right from your own home.
And we have to start with that foundation, the mindset shift.
Right, because it seems like the first hurdle is just believing you can do it without a teacher, right? Without moving abroad.
Absolutely. That belief, that self-motivation,
Yeah.
It's foundational. The sources really emphasize this. It's not just about English either. It's about believing in your ability to learn independently, which is a pretty powerful skill overall.
Okay, so let's really dig into this. Why do we think we need a teacher or need to be in the country? It's such a default assumption.
It is. But the reality is, fluency starts with you. It's about taking ownership, believing you can drive your learning.
Which can feel a bit scary at first, taking full responsibility.
Sure, maybe a little daunting. But it's also incredibly freeing, isn't it? Knowing you have that power to guide your own learning, it builds confidence way beyond just language.
Yeah, I can see that. So what are the key mindset shifts we need? First one seems obvious. You have to genuinely believe you can learn English.
Obvious but crucial. That little voice of self-doubt, it can be really strong.
Definitely. And tied to that
is moving away from perfectionism. Focus on practice, on progress, not getting everything perfect right away.
Ah, the perfection trap. It's so easy to get caught up worrying about mistakes.
It really is. But you have to let go of that fear. The fear of speaking, the fear of making errors, the fear of, being judged.
That fear is paralyzing sometimes.
It absolutely is. But think about it. Every single fluent speaker made tons of mistakes along the way. They had to.
Good point.
Embracing those mistakes as feedback, as just part of the process. That's vital for growth. They're stepping stones, really.
Okay, mindset primed. Let's get practical. How do you actually change your home environment? Make it English friendly?
Yeah, creating your own little immersion zone. This is where your surroundings start working for you.
Weaving English into daily life.
Exactly. In small, consistent ways.
First step, the digital world. Phone, computer, Netflix, social media. Switch the language to English.
Seems like a tiny thing, maybe. But think about how often you look at your phone or your computer screen.
All the time.
Right. So it's this constant passive interaction. You're not actively studying, but your brain is seeing English words, English structures constantly.
It just sinks in over time.
Pretty much. It builds familiarity almost subconsciously.
Okay, next. Labeling. Like literally putting sticky notes on things.
Yeah. Grab some notes, right? Mirror, stick it on the mirror, fridge on the fridge, door on the door.
Feels a bit basic, maybe.
It might feel a bit like being back in kindergarten, sure. But that visual link, seeing the word every time you use the object, it really cements the vocabulary through repetition.
Right. Space repetition built into your routine. Clever.
And the third piece for the environment, background audio.
So just having English playing, like podcasts, news, music.
Exactly. While you're doing chores, cooking, anything that doesn't require your full focus, play it softly in the background.
Even if you're not actively listening.
Yeah, even then. Your brain picks up on the rhythm, the sounds, the intonation. It sort of tricks your brain into thinking it's surrounded by English, absorbing the soundscape.
Okay, interesting. So the environment is set. Now building it into your day. The routine.
Ah, yes. Routine and repetition. That's where the real improvement happens. Like exercise, consistency is key.
Little and often, right?
Precisely. Much better than cramming once a week.
So the sources suggest a sample routine, morning, maybe a quick 5-minute English podcast, Or repeating some English affirmation?
Yeah, or reading an English quote and then trying to say it in your own words.
Why is that paraphrasing useful?
Because it forces you to actually process the meaning and structure, not just passively read. Get your brain working in English early in the day.
Okay, then afternoon, maybe a short YouTube video in English.
And then crucially, writing just, say, 3 to 5 sentences summarizing what you learned.
Combining watching and writing.
Exactly. Receptive skills and productive skills working together, it helps solidify things.
Evening. A short journal entry. Maybe 5 sentences about your day in English.
Yeah, and then, this one might feel a bit odd, talking to yourself in English in the mirror.
Huh, okay. Tell me more about the mirror talk.
It sounds strange, I know. But it's actually brilliant for building confidence and practicing pronunciation without any pressure. You see your mouth movements, you experiment.
No judgment from the mirror.
Exactly. And then maybe before bed, listen to an English audiobook or a calming podcast.
Winding down with English.
Keeping that immersion going passively.
And the big takeaway here is it doesn't have to be hours, does it?
Not at all. Even just 30 minutes, maybe spread throughout the day. Consistently. That leads to significant results over time. It's about building a sustainable habit.
Makes sense. Okay, let's shift focus to a skill that's maybe overlooked sometimes. Listening.
Hugely important. You can't have a conversation if you don't understand what the other person is saying, right? It's the foundation.
So how do we boost listening skills at home? Subtitles seem key.
Yes, but using them wisely. Watch first with English subtitles. See the words, hear them.
Connect the sound and the text.
Right. But then rewatch the same clip without the subtitles. That's where you really test your comprehension.
Okay, challenge yourself. What else?
Repeat and shadow. Listen to a short clip, maybe just a sentence or two, and repeat it exactly. Mimic everything. The tone, the speed, the emotion.
Like being a parrot.
Kind of, but it's amazing for your pronunciation and getting the rhythm of English. Training your mouth muscles.
And what if it's just too fast?
Use the playback speed function, slow it down. 0.75x, even 0.5x. Most platforms have it now.
Yeah, YouTube podcasts.
Exactly. It lets you catch every single word, especially with tricky accents or fast speakers.
Speaking of accents.
You need to listen to different ones. Don't just stick to, say, American English if you can help it. Try British, Australian, others too.
Makes you more flexible.
Definitely. Real-world English isn't just one accent. The more you hear, the better you'll understand everyone.
And again, daily practice, even just 10 minutes.
Yep. Just 10 focused minutes a day trains your ear over time, little by little.
Okay, let's tackle speaking. This is often the scary part, isn't it? Especially finding people to practice with.
It is a big hurdle for many. That feeling of, I have no one to talk to. But the good news is, practicing alone is actually really effective.
You don't need a partner right away.
No. Waiting for one can just become an excuse. Solo practice gets you started.
So how? We mentioned mirror talk already.
Right. Stand there, talk to yourself, give a speech, order coffee, describe your day. It feels weird maybe, but builds fluency and confidence in a safe space.
Okay. What else for solo speaking?
Record yourself. Use your phone. Just talk for a minute or two, then listen back.
Ooh, I bet that's revealing.
It can be. You hear your pronunciation, your hesitations. You can really assess where you need work. It's like instant feedback.
And a really fundamental one.
Thinking in English. Try to narrate your own actions internally. Making tea. I feel tired. The traffic is bad today.
Instead of thinking in your native language and translating.
Exactly. Bypass the translation step. It makes speaking much more fluid eventually. You're building those direct pathways in your brain.
Right. Okay. Vocabulary, not just memorizing lists.
Please, no. Forget endless flashcards in isolation. Context is everything.
How does that work practically?
Well, the watch and learn idea. When you're watching videos or reading, notice words that pop up often or ones you don't know.
Note them down.
Yeah, look them up. But, crucially, don't just write the definition. Create your own example sentence using the word.
Make it personal.
Exactly. And then try to actively use that word soon after. That's how it sticks.
What about reading materials?
Simple English stories are great. Children's books, short stories, graded readers. They use real practical English in an engaging way.
Less intimidating than a dense novel.
For sure. And the story provides context, which helps you remember the words and how they fit together.
And the idea of a vocabulary notebook.
Yes, but structured effectively. Word, definition in your own words, your example sentence, and maybe translation only if you really need it.
And the key is not overwhelming yourself.
Right. Don't try to cram 50 words a day. Review maybe just 5 words daily. Gently, no pressure. Focus on understanding and using them.
That sounds much more manageable. Now, grammar, the dreaded G word for some.
It can seem dull, can't it? But think of it less like rules and more like a puzzle, understanding how the pieces fit.
So not just memorizing rules from a book.
Ideally, no. Focus more on patterns. Notice how English is actually used. Imitate what you see and hear. Learn by observation.
Like how kids learn their first language?
Sort of, yeah. It's more intuitive. You absorb the patterns through exposure.
Are there tools that can help?
Oh, definitely. Grammar apps are useful for focused practice. Things like Grammarly or specific grammar practice apps.
Yeah.
They give you exercise and feedback.
And writing practice.
Super important. Write short paragraphs, journal entries, then use a tool like Grammarly again, or maybe a site like LangCorrect to get feedback on your grammar and style.
But we don't need perfect grammar to communicate, do we?
Absolutely not. That's a key message. Understandable grammar is the goal. Clarity. Don't let the chase for perfection stop you from communicating. Fluent speakers make grammar mistakes too.
Good reminder. Okay, learning at home sounds great, but can it feel isolating?
It can, yeah. That's why connecting with others online is so important. You're not alone in this.
Where can people connect?
Lots of places. Reddit has subreddits like English Learning. Facebook has tons of groups for learners.
And those language exchange apps.
Exactly. HelloTalk, Tandem, Speaky. Apps like that let you chat with native speakers or other learners.
What are the benefits?
You get real practice, you can ask questions, share your progress, make friends. It just makes the whole journey more enjoyable and less lonely. Adds that social element.
Definitely. Okay, let's talk motivation. Because it's not always easy to keep going, is it?
No, motivation definitely waxes and wanes. That's totally normal. The trick is having strategies to keep yourself on track during the dips.
Like what?
Tracking your progress really helps. Mark study days on a calendar, keep a journal. Seeing that visual proof of your effort is encouraging.
Shows you how far you've come.
Precisely. And celebrate the small wins. Finished a chapter. Understood a whole podcast episode. Had a short chat in English. Acknowledge it.
Give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah. It reinforces a positive habit and keeps you feeling like you're moving forward.
And when you feel discouraged?
Remind yourself why you started. Write down your reasons: better job, travel, confidence, connecting with people, whatever it is. Keep that list handy and look at it when you feel like quitting.
Reconnect with the goal.
It reignites that spark.
So, wrapping this all up, the main message seems to be, your home is your English school.
Absolutely. It's about seeing the learning opportunities everywhere around you.
Your phone is your tutor.
Your mirror is your speaking partner.
Books and movies are your textbooks.
Even the kitchen is a vocabulary lab.
And the most powerful part,
You're the student and the teacher. You're in control. That makes you unstoppable, really.
so fluency isn't some impossible dream. It's a journey, yes, takes effort.
Definitely takes effort and consistency.
But it's totally achievable from home.
Absolutely. And remember, you're not alone. So many people are doing this successfully right now.
And you can too. So the call to action is speak, read, write, listen every day.
Embrace the mistakes. See them as learning moments.
And believe you're making progress, because you are. You're on your way.
Definitely. So maybe think about this as you start creating your English home. Which one of these ideas feels like the easiest first step for you? What small change can you make today?
Because those small changes really do add up over time, don't they?
They absolutely do. That's the power of consistency.